Alright, here's a preview of the freight ship I'm working on. It's located outside this little shipping facility as it takes in and ships out off the space, freight and such. This ship will later be linked to interior ship room like in a previous demo, which I'll probably do a video of again, but with the dialogue, because now I have recording software that has audio capture. So I used to use Cam Studio because it was free and it was alright. And then like recent versions, it's just it's got adware and it sucks now. It never did audio for me for some reason. Opening doors, and you can go in here. There's nothing that's gonna stop you. It's just for keep the public out. There's a little reception area. There's nothing in that room. It's a staff area, which leads you to the staff cafeteria and empty storage room for now. And the sprites aren't quite done. I have to hold off on adding and manipulating graphics for a bit because Windows 8 does not like builds original tools. They all ran in DOS, and DOSBox doesn't quite allow me to do what I need to do with them. It doesn't run right. The boxes, I don't have them set. A lot of sprites aren't set like they were in the alpha demo I'd released. So I had to start over, put them in different indexes because there was conflicts with the indexes of the sprites. And some things are pre-coded. Like these are actually on a pre-coded explosion sprite because why do it again? And right now the Duke Duty sprite, I have an original one, but I haven't put that in. As I said before, I can't really do too much with graphics yet, because I'll have to do that on a whole different computer. Now I've switched to Windows 8 Yoga 2, which is pretty decent. It runs Fallout, and that's good enough for me. And it runs Kerbal, and that's also good enough for me. I had to manipulate it a bit because apparently when you take the plug out, it decides that 5% of CPU is just enough for everything, which is bullshit. So now it uses max CPU, and it's got a good enough battery to handle it anyway. These have all been redone a little bit. Originally they were flatter. They didn't have this kind of shade on them. And I didn't really touch these up. These are the same sprites. You can break these. You need to make it so that the debris is the right color. Right now the default is blue because blue is your base color for recoloring. As you can do a recolor that won't change to the gray. Will still be gray when I recolor it. Because it'll just change to blue color. That's the nice thing about the old engine and the palette swapping ability is it only uses the original engine. I mean, you could switch to OpenGL, and I've tried to do a video where I showed this thing, but when I did it, it did not record any of the OpenGL version. It just had just whatever was in the back of the screen. It was nothing but the recording window for. So I'm using what's it, Open Broadcast. That's what I'm using now, which is pretty nice. I had to switch it to make MP4s because the heck if I can get the Adobe shit to work. And yeah, so yeah, the freight ship. I posted some screenshots of the basics and getting a little closer to it being done. It's kind of loosely based off freight ships. So very different versions. It's kind of short, I guess you would say. I think they're supposed to be a little longer, but you know what? I'm not gonna nitpick. It's pretty big. It's big enough. And we're going to probably put just sector-based freight containers. It saves on memory. And you can make them, I'll probably make them, I don't know if I'll make them be able to explorable on the top end, or I don't know what I can quite do. Right now I'm just keeping it simple, because it makes it easier to work with. This is all just sprites, except for the supporting beams. And eventually this will be set to a death sector. If you fall down, then you just die. Because right now it's only take like 25 of your life, I think, from falling that far. but there's no way up, and there's not going to be a way up because this is just a cliffside. I mean, you may be able to get in a situation where you get knocked off and fall to your death. There's not too much penalty. I think I have it so you lose credits or maybe just experience. I can't remember. So right now I don't have any experience with credits to show what happens when you die. I'm pretty sure all that code is still intact. A lot of code is still from the alpha, but the only problem is, like I said, the sprites indexes are changes. So like, let's say these don't work. Originally they'd explode and random item maybe, and these will explode. But as you'll see, smoke effect is not set to the right sprites. It's just all textures. The fire is set. I believe that fire. Oh, just went down. But yeah, when you explode larger objects, they'll leave this explosion stain. And vehicles, I believe, will leave a larger one. I'm not sure if that's set yet. These vehicles, they're new. These larger truck van things. Originally, I just had the vans, and then I've added cars, which they're not set to explode. Just the vans are right now. Yeah, they're not set to be any bigger. But I think I'm going to make it so they'll be larger for the larger vehicles. You can't blow up the ships, or the shuttles, I'll say. You can blow up other ships, but not these shuttles, because these will be your waypoints to, like this one will be connected to the space station. And then there'll be one in the space station that will take you to this one. And they'll have interiors again, like the Alpha had interiors for all the space shuttles. And you go down through here, and then you'll get to a water treatment facility is right over here. This doesn't lead anywhere yet, but this and then up to 3 other roads are going to come to one area, which is the main highway. It's going to be like the Alpha, where there's this large, and almost fell down in the sewer. There's no way up the sewers yet either, so don't want to fall in there yet. And the highway will be kind of like in the Alpha, where it's like been attacked, and there'll be flybys, and there's going to be a dam down that way that's been destroyed, and reintroduced in the flooded city. And I'll probably keep it the way I did it last time, which is it was 2 different sectors, one for the top and one for the bottom, instead of a room versus room, or room over room, where like this is room over room to create this effect. But there's limitations to it, and you have to do it just right. Like this whole area needs to be kind of one piece, above all below this little waterfall sector. And fall in here. So then you go on the bridge, and then the nice thing is you get all these more unique geography underneath the bridge, like these pillars. These sectors actually don't have to exist above it. And then this is another room over room area to create the underwater effect here. And I'll probably extend it out this way. And then this is blocked off. There's no way to get by here because you're not supposed to. I've added shadows to the fences, which look alright. I mean, I can't do anything about translucency on the voxel shadows. They're just going to be black because that's how they are. I mean, the sprite shadows are translucent, and if I could, I'd probably just make them black as well to match up with. This is actually part of the model, because I tried putting the shadows on trees, but I guess something about their height, it makes it look really bad. And then the bushes don't have shadows, because bushes. And then you could, oh, this one does. I'm wrong. That one has a shadow. I guess the flower ones don't have shadows yet. I'll probably have to set that. There's a little bit of clipping issues in the classic render, but in the OpenGL one, these all get turned to polygons. So these little flat squares are then cubes, and depending on the complexity, it really kills the speed. So yeah, then this way will take you to the city, which isn't linked yet. So we'll just have to switch to the map. So that. The city's pretty much laid out. I don't think I'm going to add any more buildings to what's already here, because now I have to start working on interiors. Like, there's no interior set there yet. This huge department store-like building, which is pretty much what this will be. A little factory, and then the park. The trees have been varied. There's like a couple different variations. I just put the two types, the fat trees and the skinny trees, and then I'll move them around and make them different varieties later. It's just for the staging. There's this apartment complex, which buildings that have the roofs will have to have teleport doors where you'll activate facing the door. You could I think about this range really, because it's like just a sprite that you won't see. You activate it and you'll be teleported inside, which is I guess a great way to escape enemies in some ways, but I don't think you won't see too much enemies in this city, at least not at the state. There'll be different versions of certain maps, like maybe depending on how you play. Like there could be a situation where the city is under siege, and you'll have to be more tactical about maneuvering it. But this is the base map, which will be the basis for any future versions. And then this interior, because this huge building and all the other huge buildings, you could easily make interiors for them. This build engine, it's pretty simple. It's just slightly more advanced than the Doom engine, allowing for slants and such, and the way rendering is done, which it's a nostalgic visual style. These all get simulated with sectors. This very ultra thin sector right here, just to create this little shadow, and everything has to be kind of manually shaded. And then that's just kind of base template. It's put temporary sprites there for now, or textures. So I'm gonna try and design a little lighthouse there, because down this way you get to another map, which will be docks. And then go back. Oh, we got a fence in the way. At certain distances, though, I really like how the shadow looks on the fence. It kind of looks like the fence shadow. So it's basically just kind of squishing a flat version of these voxel models on the ground to create the shadow. But not all of them will have it. Like lamppost won't have it, and probably the signpost won't have it. Maybe this was actually remodeled before it was much smaller, and I'm not sure if I'll put shadows on that. Definitely put shadows on the bushes, because I did like how that looked. This also could have an interior. It's a big, huge office complex. About 2 or so of those really big ones. And this one, and that one. Oh, and I think this guy over here. One of them will be special kind of corporate things. I'm gonna try and make as much interior as possible. It's I like having it being very explorable. And then there's a lot of minimize as much as I could for certain sector usages, just so I can actually kind of achieve detailed interiors. And that's also why I like using the voxels, because then you get these larger 3D sprites. I just really like how they look. They almost kind of like they're painted, because they use the splotted square method. And yeah, so there's a lot of work to do on this little city just to get it finished. Dock area is not really started, and the highway hasn't really started yet. And then the station, I would say about half done. As in, here's the main hallway you start in, but you'll probably start in this one. This will be the main character's room. You put your gun away, which Dig 3D didn't have that feature really. A little bit with the shadow, and you can manipulate the lights. And Tech War actually had some kind of feature with that, which I'd like to use, but I don't think it's as possible. I'm just gonna have it be, mention in the game that you should keep your gun down so you don't just go around shooting people. Those aren't set either. They'd break otherwise. And then, like in the alpha version, some items or objects and such are set to be owned. So if you destroy them, you'll actually be penalized. Before it was you'd lose credits and you'd go into debt. I don't know if I was set for that. And here's mirrors. Glorious build-engine mirrors. They're so pretty. And so there's a few sound effects that are original. Sometimes set, need to make or find or new ones. How do you break these either yet? Like I said, a lot of objects aren't set. All these cabins, I believe, are set. With the shading, the lighting effect, you shoot the lights out. And then the glow is actually just set based on what's the sector shading value. Which if it's at 0, which means basic brightness, the higher the numbers, usually the darker it is, then these will show. And when they're set in the place, they're actually kind of slightly placed into it, just like maybe a pixel's worth of distance into the sector itself to make it look like it's right on the edge. If it's on the edge, it's not going to function the same. It will probably register this sector, or I'm not quite sure, but I'm not taking chances, so I want it to work. Now, the other problem is I use the flickering one. It'll come back because then it'll go to a shade of 0 because it's random. So I have to try to avoid that using the flicker one. And other ones I'll set to see the unbreakable ones, so I can't break them. I should probably put some to hit so you can see the spark. But yeah, so those lights won't go away. This whole room is probably set to 0 so they won't go away. Those are coded to disappear in the dark. These I don't think are set yet. See, I didn't set these rooms, but they will be set. So you go around and just bust up these hallway lights just to be a jerk, I guess. And yeah, this room too, which was kind of like a little monitoring room because there'll be a reactor this way. This button I don't believe is set yet, but this button is like a little emergency button. There'll probably be some signs to shut these. So like, in case of emergency, reactor explodes, cuts this off, cuts that off, and then kind of ejects itself from the whole mass. Which might be a plot point, I don't know. I'm leaving a lot of things open, story-wise. And, yeah, and then this is like the little storage room and shipment area. It's just a long hallway. I'm not sure what else I'm going to put in there. And there's entryways to all the little ship areas. Which this would be the ship that you go use for getting to the planet Terra. Should be the main planet you start on after the station. And this is the main docks. I believe it's 3 bays. I want to say it's 3 bays. I love these little voxel platforms I can have here. They drop the little shadows. And this little hover. These are little hover ones, actually. And then I'm going to probably make it so they bob a bit when they are not on the floor. The shuttle, it'll just float there. Because, whatever, maybe. Put something on the ground to simulate some kind of a anti-gravity or hovering system. So what was that? Like, yeah, about 3 bays. And then there'll be probably just, I'll probably only need 3 bays because there's going to be one shuttle that takes you to the moon, which is called Luna, because I'm so original. And then there's another one will take you to the planet Sarah, which is basically Terra with an S, because I am also so original. And yeah. So yeah, that's what we got going so far for the station, and then the 2 Terra locations are pretty close to being done. And of course I gotta get back to work on the AI set and such. I haven't put any lighting effects in there yet, or the little glows. That's what we got so far. Oh, and then I guess the other side of the hall. This is just kind of set up and not really started. You can see none of the windows lead outside yet. It's just well placed working because I captured the texture in the old software for making all the art files. Kind of captured more than it needed to. Like you shouldn't have captured that. But there's new tools being worked on. There's some other tools I could probably work with. But I'm not worried about that right now. I got map design and scripting to focus on. We got plenty of textures, at least to start with. This will be the cafeteria of the space station. Right now it's just a little lobby hole. And this will be other crew quarters, passengers, or whatnot. I had it larger, and then I didn't like it, so I cut it down to this one hallway. And maybe it will be stacked, I'm not sure. Yeah, this larger room, maybe a little TV in there for them, displays and all that. So yeah, that's what we got going. All these breakable lights. No, I don't think I could actually set it so people react to you busting lights, really. But I know, like, if you destroy furniture and stuff, like I said before, you get penalized. And I want to make it so if you shoot innocent people, guard characters will, get angry at you and try and kill you because they view you as a horrible person. And here's a little janitor's closet. Look at a little dustpan. Some nice new piping wires. Be whatever, pipe or wire. I'm going for wire because that's why I named the file. And I really want those boxes to be set because I liked when they were giving you stuff. Oh, I guess ducking brings my weapon up because I can't put my weapon down and duck at the same time? Nope. I don't know what I pressed then. And then these are flat sprites. And there's really nothing to do in here. There could be stuff, plot related things. Because I kind of want to make it so there'll be two modes to play. You could play both sides. Maybe, well, it's not unlockable. It'd be like a choice in the, you start a new game, reporting. So right now it says main mission. And I could put as many episodes. There's a select an episode right now, as I wish. Well, maybe not as many as I wish, but at least 2 main episodes. One for both sides. And all the map will be interlinked thanks to this hub script, which I can't remember who wrote it, but I'll mention it when I remember it. That's what we got so far. So we got station, the first Terra map, which is the shipping area, and then shipping receiving area. This is the combat tab map, which has the shittiest AI so far. I don't know what I broke. Something I broke because it worked a little better in the alpha version, but I just have to redo it from scratch. This is the city. This will be a harbor district next to the city. And this is going to be the highway map and the suburban just to start setting up. That's what we got so far.